Welcome back again. I'm Mark Wilson, the Engineering Heretic. Just a sort of an adjunct to what I've been doing before. I was just playing around with NCplot, and I wondered if maybe I could do a bolt-hole circle by calling up information from the internet. And so what I did was had a bit of a research, and I found this particular site here. It's a bolt-hole circle calculator. And you put the information in, it comes up with, it spits out a whole bunch of tables down the bottom there. And I actually have I'll just take this off here. I'll put this bend to 0 so there's nothing there. So if I do a calculate, it'll do absolutely nothing, I would have thought, but so let's do let's do a bolt hole circle. We'll do, what are we going to do? Let's do 6 holes. The diameter we'll work on metric this time. We'll do 100 millimeters diameter. Hole diameter probably irrelevant, but because we're drilling anyway. But we'll just give it 6. And number of holes, let's do 6. And start angle. Now the start angle is, we'll just put to 0. And there's a little representation of what we're going on. Now our first hole, if remember back in the day when you did mathematics, if you ever looked at something on an angle and stuff like that, the 0 or 0 angle was at 90 degrees. You would have thought it'd be 12 o'clock, but it's not. It's 90 degrees. And I think, for argument's sake, it goes in the anti-clockwise direction around here. So when you do this table, it works on the same old principle. I could put the start angle on whatever I want, but remember, if I say 45 degrees, it'll be up that way and rotating around this way. If I said starting angle is 10 degrees, or if I said it was 180 degrees, it would start from there. It would look exactly the same as this, but that's just how it all works. Now, down the bottom here, I can select the precision of output here as well. And at the moment, I've got 3 decimal places, and that will do more than do for CNC stuff. And of course, we have a table here. One of them is the angle and the X and Y coordinates, and the other one here is a CNC format. So there's nothing stopping me from cutting and pasting that and putting it straight into my program. So let's give that a go, but let's up the ante a little bit more. I actually have a reason to do a 79 hole, and we'll make it 2 mil diameter. I do need to have an indexing plate to do 79, and I just want to see if I can possibly do this on a CNC. So we'll just do a calculate here. Compute. What do we got? 79. No, that's not right. Number of holes, sorry. Hole diameter is 2. The wrong way around. 2. This is 79. And we'll compute that. There's our little drawing representation of it. And of course, we have this massive great table down here. Now, and it also comes up with the brackets here. It exposes 79 holes, diameter 2, and the diameter there. So it's basically start angle is 0. And of course, over here we have another representation of it. If you had a rotary table, you could probably just put it in and basically use those angles there. But this is in decimals of an angle, not in minutes and seconds, so it might not be very useful. So we have our table there. Let's go to NCplot, and we'll call up just our simple program open file, and we want just the bolt hole circle, the one we did before, and we'll open that. And I'm going to work in metric this time. We're not going to call up the metric code here, but we're just going to assume the machine's in metric. And of course, that's the holes we did before. I would like to remove this section here, that bit there, we'll backspace that, enter, enter. And what we want is that text. So we'll go back to that website there it is there. We'll select this entire column here, right click and copy, and we'll go back into NCplot, right click and paste. Now I think I missed a bracket there when I did this, so we'll just put that bracket back in again so it doesn't muck up our the way we're doing it. Right, now let's just convert this over. Now I want my first angle, my first hole to be up here somewhere. So we actually need this line here, that this one disappears. We'll take that off there. And we want my first hole here. We'll just right click, cut that one, cut, and we'll paste that one there. Now we also have these N numbers here. They're just line numbers. Some programs make that obviously the script that it spat out before from this site it gives the line numbers. That makes no difference to what we're doing here. So we're just going to stick with that. Because we're in metric now, let's change a few things here. Let's do 1000 RPM here. Speed 1000. MO3, the feed, let's give it, because we're metric now, let's make that 100 because we're metric. And Z0, let's just go down 3 mil decimal point. The retract height, we'll make that 5 mil. Sorry, Z depth, sorry. We'll go negative point, we go negative 3 mil, decimal point. Retract height, let's make that 5 mil. 5 and decimal point. Now, I'm going to hit the refresh button, and first of all, it looks like there's nothing going on here, but if we zoom all, we'll have a look. There's the whole sequence we've done here, all coming up here, looking rather nicely. Now I have up if I have the animate really low here, it'll do it, but it'll take forever. There's the animate there. You can see it's going around drilling all these holes. Let's up the animation up to flat out, and you'll see that it's going around drilling all these holes, all around 79 holes on a PCD. Right, and we have completed that. Now, if I wanted to get rid of the N numbers, there's a couple of things we can do here. If you don't like the look of them, we can leave that there. It's not going to affect anything. If I highlight this text here, right the way down to the bottom there, if I go into Format, I can remove block numbers. There it is there. Remove block numbers. And it will basically deactivate, and I'll redo that again. And it's removed all the block numbers from the text there, just to simple it up. I don't like the line numbers much. So I don't use them very much anyway. So I'll take out the backspace. We can remove these if I like, but we're okay there. But the reason why I did that first line here was I wanted this machine to go directly to there. If I had that line here, this one, I'll just cut, and I'll put this back where it was. Paste it, and I put X, 0, Y, 0, and did that. I think it would drill a hole in the middle. Let's do it. Yes, it's done. It's done a little hole in the middle there. So it's actually drilled a hole in the middle, then gone out to do another hole. So it's actually doing 80 holes. So what you need to do is make sure that first hole, because it will, as soon as you call up the G76, it will drill a hole wherever it is. And of course, that was at X and Y 0. So you need to have this line here removed, cut that one, and put it into here. And we'll paste that one there. And now when we do it, we refresh, you'll see that disappeared.